next part is a little tricky, so let's read it carefully. It says, suppose f prime of 5 is 3, and that f double prime of x is less than 0 for all x. So this part just tells me that it's concave down, right? The second derivative is less than 0. And there's a couple of things. The first part, it says, use the tangent line to the graph at x equals 5 to show something, okay? So picture, I think, will be helpful. I don't know much about what's going on, but I do know that there is a coordinate at 5, negative 2. 5, negative 2. I also know that the graph, for whatever reason, is going to be concave down there. But I do know another fact. I know that the first derivative is positive 3 at 5. So I know it's going uphill, and I know it's concave down, so maybe something like this. I'm not sure, okay? But what I need to do is I need to write the equation of this tangent line. And to do that, I'm going to use point slope. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Okay, so here's the idea. I got y minus the y there. Y1 is 2, negative 2, equals m. And our m, we're going to use the slope of 3. X minus x1, it's 5. So if you work this out, you get y plus 2 is equal to 3x minus 15, or you get y is equal to 3x minus 17. So that's the equation of this tangent line. Y equals 3x minus 17. So how do we use this to show that f of 7 has to be less than 4? Well, what it's asking you to do is, remember, the tangent line is pretty close to the actual function as long as you're nearby. Okay, so if I use this, and I want to know what it is at 7, okay, and I'm plugging 7 into the tangent line, because the function, I have no information on 7. Okay, but if I plug in 7, I get 3 times 7, which is 21, minus 17, which is 4. So notice the tangent line is 4, but what we know about the function, because it's concave down, is that f of 7 here must be less than 4. Okay? So the argument you would make is because the value of the tangent line at 7 is 4, and because the function is concave down, the actual value has to be below the tangent line, or the tangent line has to be above the function. So if the actual value is below the tangent line, it has to be below 4. And you'd have to write that out into words. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next part here, which is talking about use the secant line. So I'm going to have to erase everything, so if you need to, pause the video. But I'm going to clear. So let's look at the next part. It says use the secant line. So if you remember what the secant line is, let's draw the situation that we know. Here's all I know. I know there's a coordinate of 5, negative 2. 5, negative 2. I know that the graph is concave down, but increasing, so it might look like that. I also know the coordinate is at 8, 3. So the secant line, if you remember, the secant line is the line that connects these two. This looks like this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to write the equation of the secant line. And looking at the secant line, based on the fact that we know it's increasing and concave down, we know the secant line is actually below, which is how we're going to use to show that the graph, or the actual value at 7, which is what our unknown is. So the question is, here's 7, f of 7. We don't know what f of 7 is, but we know that whatever we get at the green line, f of 7 has to be higher. So let's use the information we have. First thing I have to do is find the slope of that green line. So we'll go 3 minus negative 2, which is 5, all over 8 minus 5, which is 3. So 5/3 is our slope. So now if we go y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1, and we'll use the point, let's see, which one will work the cleanest? Let's use 8, 3, okay, instead of 5, negative 2. Actually, it won't matter, so let's just use 5, negative 2. Okay, so we're going to go use 5, negative 2, so we're going to go y plus 2 is equal to 5/3, and then I'm going to get x minus 5. Okay, so you're going to get kind of a mess. Y plus 2 is equal to 5/3 x, and then minus 25/3. Okay, and then when you add 2 to both sides, or you're adding, you're not really adding 2 here, but you're adding 6/3. Keep that in mind. So here's what you'll get. You'll get y is equal to 5/3 x for the green line here. 25 plus, so that's going to be minus 19/3. Then we plug in 7.